Good evening. I am Seth Diamond, and I'm honored to welcome you to our 2024 Gala. It is always special to gather together as a community, and tonight is no exception. For this evening, we're going to honor two wonderful individuals, Mira Fleisch and Stephanie Marcassano. Both of whom are deeply involved in strengthening our community. We are grateful to Mira and to Stephanie, and we're excited to share more of their stories with you shortly. We are also grateful to our event chairs, Julian Gomez and Shirley Swiel, and our sponsorship chairs, Mariquita Blumberg and Dean Howell, and our phenomenal committee members. WJCS would not be able to do the work we do without the support of our board of directors. We appreciate your dedication, your expertise, and your passion. We are exceedingly grateful to our entire board, whose names are up there. Thank you all to our board. These past 6 months have been exceedingly difficult for all of us. The horrific attack against Israel, the appalling anti-Semitism, and the decrease of civil discourse and humanitarian values we have seen in this country have touched us all. For some, with family in Israel or children on college campuses, you have felt it even more directly. It is at moments like this that it is particularly important that we gather together as a community. Our strength comes from being together and holding on to support one another. We can acknowledge that our hearts are broken, but also affirm that our hearts can hold hope. Hope because in our 9th decade, WJCS remains the largest and best social service agency in the county, touching more lives than anyone else. Hope, because right after that terrible Saturday in October, it was the WJCS programs team that fanned out across the county to comfort all who needed it. They talked to those in terrible pain, to parents worried about what to say to their children, to Holocaust survivors who could not believe the horrors they were hearing. They talked to those desperately afraid of what it meant for Israel and for the world. And even today, they haven't stopped. I have hope because of you, our strongest supporters, our WJCS community, who know the need and have always made sure we have the ability to help people when they need us most. We are grateful to you. Because of you, so many people in our community have hope. The young man with psychosis with nowhere to turn, the group home resident for whom we are their family, the LGBTQI teen who doesn't feel comfortable or can't be honest to her family about who they love. You also know that our larger community is hurting in so many ways. The pain of social isolation, of children having trouble connecting at school, of people who struggle with mental health challenges and who turn to substances, of a parent of a young person who has special needs and does not know where to turn. These are the struggles of communities throughout Westchester, and these are the struggles that come to us every day. And by coming to us, that parent or child has made the right choice. At WJCS, they'll be met with open arms and care and concern and love, with people who will sit with them and listen to them and stay with them and work with them to move forward. I have the privilege of seeing this difficult and emotionally taxing work every day. I've learned so much from the courage and strength of my colleagues as I see them fight for every victory. We are honored to have some of our staff with us today, and I'd like to ask them to stand for a moment of applause. Ancient Jewish texts speak of a healer being able to take away 1/60th of the suffering of someone in pain. But that healer takes the pain with them, and that 1/60th is just for one person. The healers of WJCS take that suffering with them for person after person, day after day. Dutch priest and theologian Henry Nouwen writes, "Who can save a child from a burning house without taking a risk of being hurt by the flames? Who can listen to stories of kindness and despair without taking a risk of experiencing similar pain in their own hearts? In truth, no one can. But the staff of WJCS do it for those battling mental illness, for our group home residents, for individuals beaten by their partners, for a mom whose child is struggling in school and just needs someone to talk to. We are here for all of them, but we don't do it alone. You and our WJCS team make us a great agency. We continue to need your support to do our incredible work. It is only because of you and the support you provide that we can continue to play such a critical role in the life of so many. We thank you for all you have done and will do tonight to help heal and strengthen our community. Before we begin honoring Mira and Stephanie, we want to give special thanks to our corporate sponsors this evening, Fried Frank, Brown & Brown, New York Presbyterian, RSM, and White Plains Hospital. We very much appreciate your partnerships. Thank you. We also welcome and thank our government partners, including Hudson Valley Regional Director for Senator Kissinger-Gillibrand, Jacinta Chin, and to Westchester County Executive George Latimer, Commissioner of Community Mental Health Michael Orth, Leader of the county's Faith-Based Initiative Pat White, Chairman of the Board of Legislatures Vidat Gashi, and Town of Mamaroneck Councilwoman Robin Nichinsky. And of course, our partner in all we do, UJA. Eric Goldstein, Audrey Stein, and their entire team support us every day. We're incredibly proud to stand with them at this most difficult moment. I also want to thank our new Chief Advancement Officer, Lauren Candela-Katz. It's not easy coming in and all of a sudden introducing yourself to all of us at this gala, but she's done a wonderful job, and I'm sure you can tell already that she's planned a special evening tonight. Thank you, Lauren, and we are thrilled to have you at WJCS. I'm now excited to tell you a little bit about our honorees, and you'll be hearing more from them in a special video in a moment. Our first honoree, Mira Fleisch, has been a dedicated and invaluable WJCS board member for 8 years. As you will soon see, Mira's work with WJCS predated her board service. We are incredibly proud to have her as a member of our board, and it is our honor to recognize her service to our agency and to our community this evening. Our second honoree, Stephanie Marcasano, is the president of the Harris Project. Stephanie is at the forefront of championing the importance of providing an integrated system of care, from prevention through sustainable recovery. Stephanie is a national leader on the issue of co-occurring disorders, and we are honored that she works with us every day to implement new treatment approaches. We are so lucky to have her in our community, and particularly fortunate to have her as a WJCS partner and to recognize her work tonight. We are thrilled to be honoring Mira and Stephanie and invite you to direct your attention to the screens to hear about the impact they have working with WJCS to make our community stronger and better for everyone.
Our goal is to help people not just get over the next step, but to fundamentally improve their lives. And what a wonderful place that would be for Westchester if we can bring everybody we serve to the point where they feel they are strong, they know their true strength, and they are living their best life, connected to their community, connected to each other, and happy in their lives going forward. Mira's been a wonderful representative of our board. She captures so many of the values that are so important to us. She has a deep commitment to the services we offer. She also has deep roots in the Jewish community.
I came here when I was 4 years old from Israel. My parents didn't speak English, I didn't speak English, and we needed the support of the community to assimilate, to learn the language. I first got involved with WJCS around 2007. I was looking for a part-time job. My background was early childhood counseling and the Parent-Child Plus program. It was the perfect program for me. It was incredibly rewarding because you just saw the impact it had on these young children and their families. It was close to my story, and so it touched me personally.
Mira was incredibly creative and had wonderful connections. There was so much that was said through body language, through her warmth, through her personality, and bringing the joy of the books and toys. She just engaged so wonderfully with families.
I was coaching and training, mentoring the parent, how to interact positively with their child, to enhance their development, their language skills, social skills, even to just learn American songs that will be familiar to them in school. You'd see the progress through the year. And you also knew that there would be an enduring impact on their lives. It just set the trajectory for their future. My experience as a foreigner to this country and my childhood helped me relate. We had that common human experience. I really had empathy for these parents.
Mira's impact on WJCS goes far beyond just the work she's done with the families in the early childhood program. From early childhood to end of life, we are a lifeline for so many people.
Mira is the chair of the Jewish Programs Board Committee, and anytime there's a crisis in the community, she's so supportive and has so many great ideas and suggestions and is always willing to lend a hand.
My parents were Holocaust survivors. I didn't realize there were so many Holocaust survivors still around, and they are so eager to socialize and get out and not be isolated. And I feel so good seeing these survivors who've suffered so much be joyous. One of the things we've done since October 7th is focus on this horrible resurgence of anti-Semitism that is traumatizing people. We have stepped in and provided counseling and workshops, how to cope with this. When my mother was dying, there were many issues with her that were common to Holocaust survivors at end of life. And the counselors at WJCS helped me go through that. It was really difficult. I now have grown to value just being a part of an agency that's helping people in many ways as I was helped. And if I can help and encourage other people to be involved, to donate, to support us, then that's really what the honoring is about.
Stephanie's a wonderful representative of the community participation that we have. She's innovative, she's creative, she pushes us to do more in areas where we haven't always been as involved. And together with her, we've created some wonderful programs that benefit people that we haven't touched before.
Stephanie has challenged every system provider in Westchester County and frankly, New York State, the federal government, the Office of Mental Health, OASIS, and the Assembly and the Senate to really rethink how we approach treatment. She is a tireless advocate for co-occurring disorders, for systems transformation, and frankly, for organizations like WJCS.
My vision for the Harris Project literally started at my kitchen table on October 23rd, 2013, the day that my son Harris died by accidental overdose. He started out with an anxiety disorder. Later, he got the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder diagnosis. Not one professional ever said, you better be really careful around substances. That would have been the first opportunity for things to be different.
The model at the time would sometimes say to the individual, look, your trauma is being impacted by your substance use. We're not going to be able to address your trauma because of your substance use. And if you have a co-occurring disorder, a substance use and a mental health disorder at the same time, the course of both disorders is worse. You have more negative outcomes across the board. And that makes it harder for you to attend work and school. It makes it hard for you to attend appointments.
In 8th grade, Harris began self-medicating with marijuana. He was in the first residential treatment program when he was towards the end of his senior year in high school. I was taking him to the psychologist, the psychiatrist, the intensive outpatient program, the 12-step meeting, and the gym. Recurrence and use in under 2 weeks. Within a year and a half of entering that first program, Harris was gone. I needed to know where we went wrong, and I found my way to WJCS. I learned really quickly that they were innovative. The Westchester County Department of Community Mental Health and WJCS became a partner in that endeavor right from the beginning. WJCS has really been a home for me. We became fiscal partners to really amplify the work that we're doing. We brought integrated evidence-based treatment to Westchester County through a program called Encompass. Multiple clinicians were getting certified in an integrated evidence-based treatment protocol. With the Encompass treatment protocol, you're fully assessed, your entire situation is explored, and you receive one therapist who is integrating care for you. A young person will call, a parent will call, they will come in. Once a week, individual therapy, which is far more successful. Our results are so much better, and that's the difference.
It's a privilege to work with Stephanie and to know her. Her stamina and her drive and her resilience really inspires all of us to work harder and do a better job in terms of identifying people struggling with co-occurring disorders.
I put my trust in WJCS because they don't just want a training. What they want is certification. What they want is clinical competency. I know unequivocally that Harris would be here today if he had access to this type of care, if he had clinicians and an agency that understood co-occurring disorders. Being honored by WJCS is humbling. A chance to save lives is something that I wished for.
I know you're as impressed with Mira and Stephanie as I am tonight, and we're incredibly grateful to both of them for allowing us to honor them and to having WJCS tell their story about how they have impacted lives and continue to work throughout the community. I'd like to call Susan Lewin and Mira to come up for a presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, our old friend Susan Lewin.
Nice to be here, especially for this reason. 35 years ago, at Westchester Jewish Center Nursery School, the class of 2-year-olds were all busy coloring their paper dreidels for Hanukkah. It was December, about 3 months after nursery school had started. Mira's smiling, and so is Michael. They know this. She hasn't heard this, but she knows the story I'm about to tell. There was one little boy and one little girl who, in between every color crayon, as they were coloring, ran to the door of the classroom, peered around to make sure that their mothers were still sitting in the hallway. The mothers from whom, after 3 months of nursery school, they were still not ready to separate from. I'm happy to report 35 years later, Michael Fleisch, right here, a grown-up and independent and successful, and Sarah Lewin were eventually able to separate. But the moms, Mira Fleisch and Susan Lewin, thankfully were not. And for that, I am so, so grateful. Having shared almost 4 decades of friendship, nursery school graduations, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, college graduations, weddings, birth, deaths, recipes, Shabbats, illness, wellness, laughs, I have been the frequent recipient of Mira's grace and sincerity and deep wisdom and empathy. But in this past decade, Mira and I added something new to our relationship: professional colleagues. Mira and I both spent our volunteer lives coming up in the Westchester Women's UJA volunteer track, through which we both learned about the jewel in the crown of UJA Westchester, WJCS. Having been trained in early childhood counseling, as you heard, Mira was immediately drawn to WJCS's early childhood programs. She trained as an early learning specialist in what would become the parent-child program. Having studied the science of early education, Mira understood and really deeply appreciated its impact. She became attached to the families that she visited every week, took great pride in their progress, and even began to fundraise to help WJCS keep the program flourishing. So it was a natural progression when Mira was asked to become a WJCS board member. By then, I had joined the professional staff of WJCS. Lucky, lucky me to have my dear friend as part of the board with whom my job had me working so closely. And I got a bird's eye view and a new view of Mira in a professional setting. I witnessed her passion, her intelligence, her practicality to help guide the immensely important work of WJCS. And she has been a champion not just of early childhood programs, not just of Jewish programs, not just of programs for Holocaust survivors, but working for all of the essential services that WJCS provides to 20,000 people every year. In Mira's typically humble way, she first demurred at the thought of being this year's honoree. The real question is not how could we not recognize the many, many years of the ever so subtle but always so powerful Mira Fleisch impact on WJCS, and by extension, to our Westchester neighbors in their times of greatest need. If I could have picked anyone to sit on a nursery school floor for 3 months with, it would be you, Mira. I am so very honored to present to all of you this year's WJCS honoree and my dear, dear friend, Mira Fleisch.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love you. Thank you. I feel like I want to change my speech just to say wonderful things about Susan. But anyway, hello everyone, and I really just a few words of thanks from me. First, Susan, thank you for the incredibly warm and thoughtful introduction, but especially thank you for recommending me to the WJCS board. It is really a privilege to be part of this remarkable agency, and so far this evening has been incredibly magical. So I'm grateful to our leadership, Seth and Shannon, and wherever you are, and Lauren, thank you, and the whole development team, the board, the Gala committee, and the entire staff. All your efforts planning tonight and every day at WJC help us grow and improve our services. Stephanie, I'm happy to be sharing this honor with you at a recent meeting. You called her, Stephanie, a powerhouse, so aptly describes you. Finally, thank you to my wonderful family right here, and especially to you, Tom, my husband, to my dear friends and everyone here in this room. I'm just so grateful that you're here supporting the work of the essential and critical work of WJCS. It couldn't happen without you.
Susan, you come in the picture.
Okay.
You get in the middle.
Where is it?
I don't know. Oh, here's coming. She didn't
Oh, she's
realize.
Here she comes. Here she comes.
It's in the script, I
Take your
guess.
time, take your time, we're fine.
Okay, great. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Susan and Mira. And now I'd like to call up Dr. Drew Mullane, Commissioner of Community Mental Health Michael Orth, and Stephanie Marcasano for a presentation. Dr. Mullane, I think you're going to.
So Dr. Drew Mullane and I are going to tag team this evening. My name is Michael Orth, and I serve as Commissioner of Community Mental Health, and this is?
And I'm Drew Mullane, and we're pleased here to be here tonight to roast, forgive me. Toast. You know, I'm usually in bed by this time, so you'll have to forgive me. But we're pleased to be here tonight to introduce Stephanie Marcasano and honor her tonight.
And I'm going to take a little selfish opportunity. On behalf of Westchester County, I also want to thank WJCS for the incredible work you do. We couldn't do this work in Westchester without you, so thank you for your leadership and the staff and your commitment to this important work. Thank you. So we're here to celebrate and talk about my friend and colleague, Stephanie Marcasano. And you saw the video, which was so empowering. Stephanie, driven by her family's tragedy and loss, has taken that to really become a game changer in the co-occurring disorder world. And many of you know we've had many attempts in the past to really integrate mental health and substance use, but guess what? We didn't have a Stephanie helping us and leading our effort. I've had the pleasure of working with Stephanie for over 9 years. Her passion, her courage, her strength, her innovation, her strategic thinking has led to massive change, not only in Westchester County, but throughout New York State and the federal government and country. She has really changed the platform when it comes to prevention and co-occurring prevention, treatment, and systems thinking in this area. So Stephanie, I've known you for 9 years. You've made me, as I think Pat said in the video, work harder, do better, because we know we really want to have a better system to serve people with co-occurring disorder. And I really feel as a pleasure to be here up with you this evening and just keep doing the work because we need you leading this effort. So thank you, Stephanie.
It's a true delight to see WJCS honor my friend, colleague, and fellow Department of Community Mental Health Committee Chair, Co-Chair, Stephanie Marcasano, for all the raw emotion, passion, intellect, leadership, creativity, resilience that she's harnessed in the face of the tragic loss of her son, Harris, the namesake for the Harris Project, by accidental overdose, and for all the potential that she's helped realize in the creation of a true co-occurring competent system of care for people like Harris. As Michael said, Stephanie's influence has helped Westchester County and WJCS become a beacon of hope for people with co-occurring disorders. Nationwide, showing that a co-occurring system of care is possible. I met Stephanie back early in my career here at WJCS, and it's impossible for me to imagine where we would be without Stephanie's work. She has consistently beat the drum that is necessary to keep us moving in a productive and meaningful direction, having very difficult conversations, challenging us all at times, helping WJCS and others in Westchester County and nationwide to assure that people like her son Harris have a fighting chance at recovery from co-occurring mental health and substance use disorders. Because of the innovative evidence-based programming like Encompass and CRAFT offered by WJCS, we have created with her direction and partnership. It's challenging for me to think of many others in Westchester County who have had a bigger impact on the treatment landscape as has Stephanie and the Harris Project. She's brought co-occurring disorders out of the shadows and into the light, reshaping the prevention, treatment, and recovery landscape for all those impacted by co-occurring disorders. What Stephanie has accomplished, something that behavioral health and public health professionals have struggled to do so for decades, is nothing short of amazing. She shares our values and our priorities, and we are blessed and grateful for you, Stephanie, and for your work and for your tireless advocacy. Thank you so much.
I was really expecting a roast. You don't know what our Zooms look like. First, to Mira, mazel tov and congratulations to you for all of the work that you do to serve young people, old people across the lifespan. So I'm used to presenting, like with a PowerPoint. I'm really anxious about doing this kind of thing because I don't really accept like awards readily. But when thinking of what to say, I kept going back to one of my mother's favorite adages, Gam ze yavor, this too shall pass. I held on to it when she urged me to relish life's joys, and I clung to it when she assured me that challenging times would pass. Yet on October 23rd, 2013, my belief wavered. The loss of Harris is a void that will never diminish, leaving Alan and Jensen and me forever changed. Instead, I've come to believe that Harris, with his indomitable spirit, has paved the way for a remarkable journey, filled with trials and tribulations, while introducing me to extraordinary souls who walk this path with us. To all of you who've chosen to accompany us on this journey, my gratitude knows no bounds. A special thank you to Michael, to the county executive, the deputy county executive, the board of legislators, the entire Department of Community Mental Health, those across Westchester County who support this work, to my board who fearlessly charted this unexplored terrain. My heartfelt appreciation to Seth, Pat, Drew, Caitlin, Allie, Jan Fisher, the trailblazers who ignited this journey and have been instrumental in helping steer our course. And to the dedicated team at WJCS and the Gala Committee, and to Lauren, who've given so much to this endeavor, thank you. It is rare to honor someone like me who has truly asked so much from you. To my incredible team, the Encompass and Inclure team of Lorena and Zavita, your contributions have enriched our journey in ways that I can't put into words. This trek wouldn't be the same without you. And to Alan and Jensen, my steadfast companions, the compasses on this winding road, thank you for always helping me to know my bearings. My love for you is endless. And to Harris, thank you for continuing to illuminate the way. With you as our North Star, we are truly bringing co-occurring disorders out of the shadows and into the light. Thank you, everyone.
That's lovely. Why don't we just step, there you go. Thank you to Mira and Stephanie, and let's have another round of applause for both of them. We also have lovely proclamations from Board Chair Virat Gashi this evening that we'll also be presenting to them, and thank you for that. There's more to the story of Mira and Stephanie's impact, and there's more to the story of your impact. Please direct your attention to the screens for another presentation.
We want to be there for every member of the Westchester community that needs our help. People depend on us to be that rock and that stability in their lives. And we can only do that if we have the support of our entire community.
There are so many clients that have had such hard lives and have worked so hard. Having a substance use issue or a mental health issue or a co-occurring disorder is not a consequence of a personal failing. Everybody's trying their best. and they really do need kind, compassionate care.
Drew is a very patient man. Secretly, I was like, well, I'm this drug addict, and I'm not good enough to be around these people. And little by little, he taught me, listen, you're just as good as them. My parents both were drug addicts. I was also born addicted. And I had a vicious, vicious heroin problem. I was young, 15. First time I did it, was spend the next 20, 25 years in and out of jail. I did bad all these years, and then yes, I turned it around and started being a better person. WJCS taught me how to love myself.
If you're 25 and under, your brain chemistry can change just by using substances. You can develop a mental health challenge even if you weren't on track to. Those conversations with young people, with their loved ones, can change everything from the beginning.
My son was a junior in high school when COVID hit. He was very much struggling with anxiety that we hadn't even known was there. He had cannabis use disorder, and we didn't know about that either. There's no manual for good parenting, and when things get tough and you feel like you're in crisis mode, it can be a bit overwhelming and you don't even know what the right thing to do or say is. CRAFT is designed for anyone who has a loved one who has a substance use problem. That program brought a lot of strategies for how to communicate better with our son. There's nothing you want more than to have a good relationship with your child.
Somebody comes for mental health services, but they're hungry or they're homeless or they don't have a job. We have employment specialists and we have care managers and we have peers, people with lived experience in addition to the therapy. So it wraps services around people to really help them heal in a comprehensive and holistic way.
You're given tools to survive in society, and you're getting the support that you need to transform your life. I was able to get a voice so I could more speak out against the abuse that I was facing.
I got the help I needed. First, I got a counselor, and then I was set up with a psychiatrist, and someone helped me find a job.
Just being able to see how far both of them have come, it feeds my soul just as much as they say that we feed theirs. Even as a staff person, as a person who has her own very complicated mental health journey, I have never seen people care as much for the clients. Every day, they're saving people's lives.
I reached a point where I was sick and tired of the person I was becoming. I dealt with, and just intrusive thoughts that were taking over me, and, just like, I had to deal with self-harm a lot. Therapy actually benefited me a lot. It's helped my family. They've seen the person I became. As I became the first person in my family to go to college, I don't think I would have ever been to college without the help of WJCS.
We save our society so much money by helping people heal from trauma who otherwise might have ended up incarcerated or in the hospital or in residential facilities. When you work with somebody who has gotten the message that they're not important, and when they've gotten that message so often, then it's hard for them to believe that they're important.
I thought that I had just regular anxiety and that was my problem. Not only am I a survivor of childhood abuse, I have trauma of racial abuse, intergenerational abuse, gender abuse, because, I am gay. I had many different levels and layers of triggers and traumas that started when I was a kid and even into adulthood. My therapist was able to help me build that trust by getting to understand me, allow me to be me. I'm now a survivor versus a victim. WJCS has taught me to live in my truth and to be authentic. It doesn't happen overnight, and I still got work to do, but when you say, could you imagine life without it? No.
When I was a child, I experienced a ton of trauma. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. In high school, I actually dropped out. I was pregnant, and I thought that was gonna be my life, working as a cashier, trying to take care of my baby. I was so depressed, I could not sleep. I was able to get help from my therapist and just have the support that I needed. My girls also have special needs, and she was very supportive. She would give me advice for the girls and show me different resources that I had no idea existed to get them services that they needed. Without the mental help that we received, I don't know where we'd be today. I honestly don't know how far I would have gotten in life.
When families are under stress, under-resourced, any variety of things can cause adverse childhood experiences to build up and cause negative outcomes later in life. Our programs work to build social connections, but we have to show families the value of those social connections.
When I became connected with WJCS, I was a first-time mom in a one-income household. The center helped guide us with the fundamentals of social-emotional readiness. I had the opportunity to volunteer and then transition as part-time staff. And the Parent Child Plus program extends to food insecurity needs, mental health needs. And so when those needs are addressed, it trickles out into the community because, it helps people become the best versions of themselves that everyone has the potential to be.
As a community rabbi, we've partnered with WJCS in many ways. It is really important that we have a central location that we can go to when there are issues that arise in our community that we are not necessarily equipped to be able to handle ourselves.
October 7th was a turning point, I think for all Jews on some level, but for survivors and for families impacted by the Holocaust, it's a resurgence of that horror that they've experienced.
We thought that the Nazis were gone and dead, but no, they're very much alive. I was actually saved by a Ukrainian nanny that we had, and she took me out of the ghetto.
I lived 2 years in the woods where I had no food. So we went from house to house to ask for food. Some people would give us something, and some would say, get away.
Helena or Allison, they are so helpful. I know if I wake up in the morning with a bad dream that I had, if I call them up, they put me straight. When they make those luncheons, they bring people together that are dancing the horror. I mean, how often do you dance the horror? Even though many years have passed, what we went through, we didn't forget.
We all struggle at some point in our lives. We all do. And so if we are in a position where we can help other people in their struggles, why not?
We would not be here without the generosity of our donors, of our volunteers, everybody who supports and believes in the work that we do.
We have strung together every nickel and dime that we could find, but not a sufficient amount to really reflect the amount of time and effort that it takes our staff.
The investment in WJCS is the investment in innovation, in creativity, in best practices, in taking all of that and making them evidence-based practices. You need truly supportive individuals and corporations and the private sector to truly make this work.
When you make that donation, you just never know the impact you can have on someone's life. Every dollar goes a long way in fighting a problem that plagues us to this day.
With your help, we can expand our reach, expand our services, be in more places for more people to help more of our community lead better lives.
That's the Jewish values. It's the great humanitarian values. And in a time when the world is looking very bleak, we want a way, an opportunity to express our humanity and get strength from that.
Right. Wow. That was an incredibly moving video. I think everybody's probably as touched as we are. That was pretty extraordinary. Just need a minute there. WJCS taught me to live in my truth. WJCS gave me the opportunity to dance the hora. WJCS made me be the person that I am today. I mean, these are just incredible testaments to the organization that we're all here to support, and could not be more meaningful, and we could not be more grateful to all be here together. So Lauren and I are thrilled to be here with you all tonight. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Steve Beckman. I'm a proud member of the WJCS board. I'm thrilled to be here tonight to help conduct a very special crowdfunding feature of our gala, which we call Give for Good. Thanks to your generous investment in WJCS, together we save lives. Not just for now, not just for this year, but we change the trajectory of individuals and their families for generations and generations to come. That is Le Door Vador. Let's give it up for that, please. So, we have a very important goal tonight, and this is truly a team effort. So we are one team, one dream. We are all in this together, and we love it. All right, that means we need everyone here to trust WJCS. We need you to trust that WJCS will continue making the deep impact that this organization has always driven across the areas where that impact is truly needed the most. And all of us in the room tonight can directly impact our neighbors, those in need locally, those in our backyards, just when they need it the most. For those of you who have participated in Give for Good before, we've changed it a little bit this year. All of your generosity, all of your empathy, and all of your compassion tonight will help all of our WJCS programs and services in one fell swoop, not just individual initiatives. So we will ask for gifts across a range of giving levels. There's no need to give at every level. We would love for you to, but you can if you want. We would love for you to consider doing your best tonight and digging a little deeper at the level at which you feel moved to support. So please follow your heart as Lauren and I lead you in the opportunity to directly support WJCS programs for our neighbors who need our help.
Thank you, Steve. So I started Monday, October 9th. And everyone is asking me, how do you like it here? And I have to say that I feel like I've come home. That it's the place that I needed to be at this moment in time. And so I'm honored to be here with each of you tonight, partnering with you to really do some good in the world. So I'm going to walk you through how this is going to work tonight. We are doing text to donate. We are going green, no paper. And so what I want everyone to do now is pull out your phones. Get them out. Hold them up high. Let's see them. I see 3, 4, 5. Come on. I'm going to put the pressure on.
Pretend
Everyone's
we're like,
got to hold their phones up.
you need to light up the room with your phone.
That's right. Light up that room. All right. This is super easy. Super easy. Now, I'm going to walk you through the instructions, but I don't want you to do it yet. All right? On your table, there are very easily readable instructions and on the screens. So for the folks online tonight, welcome. And all you have to do is type in 970-840-9000. All right? That's the first thing. You get the phones, you click on your app to text, and you type 970-840-9000.
Right there.
Right. And then when we're going to start talking about the different levels, all you have to do is type in WJCS. It does not have to be the big capital letters. The amount. You don't even have to put a $sign. And your name. Now, we know some of you like to be anonymous, and that is great too. Just leave off your name. We will know who you are. We will have your cell phone number, and we will follow up. So no worries. So 970-840-9000. Now, once we're ready and you press send, you are going to get an automatic link to pay. Now, if you want to pay by credit card, that is awesome. We love that because I love getting money at the end of the night. However, if you would like to pay by other means, that is super cool too. Just ignore the link. We will follow up with you, and you can send a check later on, okay? So don't worry about if you don't want to pay tonight, if you want to pay by other means, that is great.
But Lauren, what if I'm having trouble with my phone and I'm having issues and I don't really know what to do?
Yes, so we have staff around the room who have charged cell phones. So you don't have to worry about that.
You have thought of everything.
Raise your hand and the staff will come around the room and help you out. Okay? Staff, raise your hands. Okay. Now, in anticipation of this, does anybody think that they might have trouble and want a staff person to come around? I'm not seeing any hands, so you're all good. Okay, maybe a little scuttlebutt in the back there. All right. Okay, we are ready.
So, all right, without further ado, our goal tonight is to raise $600,000. And we are thankfully, thanks to all of you, almost there. We have raised already north of $450,000. That has gone up over the past couple hours. In my notes, it was lower. So I want to just thank everybody for
You guys jumped the gun.
the support that you're already giving. So while our goal was $600,000, if we get to $700,000, that's fine. Whatever we can do, we can do. So look, as Dr. Mullane said in the video, WJCS is great at stringing every nickel and dime together. But that is not sufficient. We can only continue to do this life-saving work with your support. And because the kindness and support from everyone here will go to where WJCS needs it the most, we are asking everyone to lean in and do the best you can to help us meet our needs and achieve our goal. So your support tonight, as you could see from that video and the direct impact that WJCS has on all of its clients, is going to really make a difference. And just in the spirit of bringing us together and the unity that we all have, I want to kick it to Lauren, who's going to sing a song.
So I normally don't do this, but something that Mira and Stephanie said, how they were speaking from their hearts about the importance of family, the importance about who we are. And this is something that I do at family events, just to remind us who we are and who we can be. Oifen prepetje brennt auf Feueröl, wünschst du bist reis. Und der Rebelleren kleine Kinderle, dem Olive Base. Und der Rebelleren kleine Kinderle, dem Olive Base. Now in English. By the fireside, where the embers glow through the wintry days, there's the teacher standing with the little ones, Comet's olive base. And again, just a reminder of our Jewish values and our humanitarian values, how we have to teach our children, and tonight, we are choosing to live those values together.
Beautiful. So I'm going to ask you to consider making a gift of $10,000 or more to make Stephanie and her family's wish for every family and individual struggling with co-occurring disorders to have access to the evidence-based care needed from WJCS to save their lives. Just like Allison and her family are getting the life-saving support that they need, please consider doing so.
I think we blew the levels, everybody. However, this is awesome to see all this money coming in. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Phyllis. Thanks, Sarah. That's great. Keep it coming. Any more gifts of 10,000? Thanks, Susie. Thanks, Todd and Barbara. Thanks, Anonymous.
Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Anonymous.
This is great. Now, giving has the remarkable capacity to make people feel good, and we really want everybody in the room to feel good tonight. So we would love to get more gifts around 7,500. It could be 8,000. It could be 8,500. It could be 7,000. We're very flexible. We want you to be happy and do what you can do tonight. But we've got to reach our goal by the end of the evening because dessert is only a few closed doors away.
So it feels amazing to be here with obviously these incredible people, all of you in the room, to support and spread love to those in need. Hopefully, as I can feel, you're all feeling the love too, because that's what tonight is really about, love. So on that note, we're asking for gifts of $5,000 or more to support all of our programs that strengthen and lift up the Jewish community during these very challenging times. These are very challenging times indeed. We need to make sure that we can be there for Holocaust survivors like Ellen and Jerry, who are here with us this evening. I mean, that was just incredible to see. And we need to be there for people who have lost a loved one, people who are facing chronic health issues or end-of-life needs.
Thanks, Anonymous. That was a good 10,000.
Yeah, thank you everybody for the continued support. And WJCS is truly there for people at every stage of their lives and for Jewish people at every stage of their lives, which is pretty remarkable.
And every day, it's because of your compassion that you allow our amazing WJCS staff to provide the resources that really make a difference in people's lives. I mean, $2,500 really helps all of our seniors and our senior caregivers get the support they need to safely age at home, to get the respite they need to recharge their batteries, to care for their loved ones. And I think most importantly, to help seniors feel like they're still cherished part of the community. So often that they're isolated and they need that extra support to thrive. And that's what your support does too. So gifts of $2,500 would be awesome tonight.
Thank you so much. Seeing these incredible gifts come in, it's amazing to feel the generosity in the room, to feel this support and to feel this love. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
We are at 5:45 tonight. We have really got to hit that $600,000 mark.
We are close. So tonight we're celebrating the unconditional love in all human beings. That unconditional love is core to who you are and why we are all here together. So we're asking for gifts of $1,000 or more to share your heart with people who have disabilities, to share your heart with those in need in our community.
Thanks, Bill and Shirley.
From our community programs to our amazing clinical programs, your support can truly change lives. Thank you, everybody.
And tackling these issues that are going on in our community, they are so solvable. And that's the most frustrating piece, that when there are challenges, there are always ways that we can work together to solve them. And it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, everybody needs support and help at some point in their lives. And that's what we're doing here tonight, making sure that there's access for everybody who needs it, no matter what background they come from, no matter what community they come from, and no matter what they're struggling with. It is all possible. Even Carla, the young woman in this story, I had the privilege of interviewing her. She came from a Latino family that did not believe in mental health. And she just didn't want to live like she was living anymore. Imagine the courage that took to break away from her family to get the help that she needed so that she can have a future. That's what each of you do in this room tonight.
So this is about the power to tip the scale and to make sure people who have access to the help that they need when they need it and when they don't have any other options. As you know, when one person is suffering, it impacts their family. It impacts those around them. It impacts the entire community. So we're asking you to give at whatever level you can to ensure that your compassion and generosity continues to help 20,000 of our Westchester neighbors this year. Think about that impact that WJCS has, and the ways in which we could support more than 20,000 people across Westchester. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Lauren.
So whether it's $250 or $100, again, every dollar is beautiful and a blessing. We all have something that we can contribute to those who are struggling. A knowing nod, a compassionate smile, a second chance, asking if somebody's okay, a little help walking down the step. We all have something that we can do tonight. We all can stretch just a little bit more and give up a Starbucks coffee one day, or maybe 3 days, or 5 days. If we can all stretch a little bit more. $30,000, David.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Congratulations, you did it.
Wow. Wow, I have goosebumps. That is unbelievable. Truly incredible. We've exceeded our goal. But we're still here. We can still keep giving.
And share the love, get people involved, and thank you very, very much for your compassion, for your generosity, and your commitment to making sure that people in our community get the help and support that they need.
It's truly an honor to be here with you, Lauren. It's truly an honor to be here with everybody. Thank you so much for the generosity. This work is changing lives. Thank you to WJCS. We love you.
George Latimer was here. He stopped by to say hello and give his greetings. Unfortunately, he was late, and so we had to continue on, and then he had to skedaddle. So he just extends his good wishes and thanks you all for being here. And now we'd like to call up Shirley Shria and Julian Gomez.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Shirley Schweel, and this is my cohort, Julian Gomez. Our thanks to all of you for your incredible generosity. We hope you'll continue to be involved in supporting WJCS. Don't go away. Don't be far from us. Stay with us. There are many ways you can get involved.
So thank you all for your generosity tonight. Wonderful result. You now all get chocolate. Congratulations. Unlimited chocolate and unlimited, just unlimited chocolate. So I'm Julian Gomez, and together with Shirley, we have the honor of being tonight's co-chairs for this beautiful gala. And we have some wonderful volunteer opportunities, which partnership opportunities for businesses in Westchester and many more. If you look behind us, we have a website, WJCS Get Involved. So please click on the link and look at opportunities you can join to help WJCS. I think you're supposed to move to the next slide, but that's fine. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Just know that when you support WJCS, you are certainly making a difference. We have a few thank yous to say as well. So very important thank yous. I want to say, go ahead.
So yes, thank you to our gala committee that did a wonderful job in organizing this. And at some point in the evening, their names will appear here, but thank you. We're also very grateful for the dedicated and talented staff of WJCS. And I know some of them are here today, so if you can please stand up and be acknowledged for your wonderful work.
Come on, staff members.
Thank you. And thank you to our courageous clients. Some of you seen on the video, some who are here today. Your resilience and strength in overcoming life's challenges are an inspiration to all of us. Thank you.
And again, thank you to our honorees for accepting this honor. You're amazing people, and we're so grateful for you to have raised this fantastic amount of money for the organization and for the work that you do for it. So thank you, Mira and Stephanie. And just want to say we welcome our honorees and all our staff members to please take the flowers home on the tables. We'd love you to enjoy them further. Please join us for coffee and dessert in the room outside as we go. And don't forget to take your chocolate bars. Thank you.
Thanks
for
very much.
coming.